Greetings, traveler. You just crash landed on the Mikey-and-Me podcast. But fear not, for this is no mistake. No fault in the stars, no glitch in the matrix. I'm afraid this has all been planned, predetermined by powers known not to us. But fear not, for you are among friends. I said fear not twice. So pull up a chair and join us as we find our way together. Matthew.
If you're gonna accidentally repeat yourself, telling people not to be afraid would be the thing to do. So if
it's not to be
if it
afraid,
was unintentional, fear is like one of the most It is probably the most controlling psychological tool.
It's the
I start most of my conversations telling people not to be scared.
Don't be
just
afraid.
because
Where do these conversations happen at, Jeff?
Well, no, the thing is, that's going to have the reverse psychological effect. The moment you say, "Look, guys, I don't want to freak you out,"
okay, everybody's
you're automatically cueing their brain to be in freak out mode.
Oh, they're about to do something weird. Okay, just stay calm.
Probably why I'm not getting a lot of second dates.
All right, so hey, how's everybody doing? We're now back in house, so to say, or back in our normal spot versus last episode. Whenever I went to Austin, we talked about that.
Yeah,
that was nice, and came back, did all that, and now we're back to our normal thing. And before I get where the fuck? The pug, I think, is sitting on. Yeah, she is. That's Pug over here is cuddled up on me. But I was going to say, we're looking at a cool night in Des Moines, Iowa tonight. It's 62 degrees. And tomorrow, we're looking at there's going to be some precip, about a 55% chance of precip tomorrow, with a low of 55 in the evening. So that's kind of interesting.
You said?
55% chance of precip in Des Moines, Iowa.
What's the percentage of someone from Des Moines, Iowa watching this?
Well, a lot higher now because I just gave them the weather update. So when they search what the weather is, they're going to find us jolly good fellows and this sweet little pug with... What's around the pug? Dude, look at the pug's face. Glowing red.
It's right now. It's like orange.
Dude. I want to... Like, we need to just be quiet and see what she has to say.
For real. Zoom in, please.
Yeah.
Singing.
Dude, she's proving why she's the perfect pug.
Yeah, like a pug
she's showing, like, how freaking hot it gets here so quickly.
Oh no! So this is great. We're back, and so in Des Moines, Iowa. So take an umbrella if you're out and about tomorrow in Des Moines. But otherwise, here in Dallas, it's a nice, cool night, and it doesn't matter what's going on outside because we're inside hanging out.
That's true. That's true, my brother. So yeah, it's been another just interesting week. Nothing too fascinating to get into. I can think of. I know that you guys.
I had
these fellows next to me. I went to a show with their good friend Aaron. Yeah, so explain, give us a little insight into that, and what the music, what the band was, and all that.
It was Whiskey Myers.
Okay.
They banged on things and strummed instruments, and it was nice.
Dude, that's great.
They were more or less like a.
Hopefully that wasn't the only banging, am I right? Afterwards,
So
your lady's all liquored up.
So
no,
if they're compared to anybody, you could like kind of put them. It's like they're southern rock country style, but it's almost southern rock. They have some great songs though. They did a great. I mean,
did they do a cover of Sweet Home Alabama?
They did not, but I will say the one thing I'm going to get straight to business. Let's get down to brass tacks, okay, guys? This whole event took place at Dos Equis Pavilion. And
you had to take out a mortgage. You had to take out a mortgage to buy beer.
Yeah, so we need to get down because the devil is in the details, as Bernie Sanders says. And so,
who's Bernie Sanders?
He's a skateboarder.
I paid his game. Sorry. But keep going.
So we go to this place, and for 3 drinks, it was $70 for a White Claw and 2 Dos Equis.
2 24-ounce.
No, it wasn't.
Yes. It was $70.
Yeah.
$70. How big were they?
A tall boy, 2 tall boys.
Dude, I can't. What were the price for? Because I'm a second for the yards, the frozen margarita yards.
A tall boy normally.
How tall was the boy?
Like
about as tall as me, baby.
They were like.
They sound like it must have had the band, brother.
No, one of these right here, Bubba. one of these tall boys
Costs
from
you
like
how much?
$3 that normally is what it costs you.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
no.
absurd.
And
No,
at the
how
concert,
much
they
did
were
it-
charging like $18.
Almost $20.
It's like 18 bucks for a beer. And
yeah,
they're,
they're
like,
literally just letting the demand, like, we're going to do this until people stop buying them. So hopefully, I mean, the line, you still saw people. Hopefully the hopefully the returns.
Anytime I went,
nobody,
It's
there was
stuffed up.
never a
It's just
line.
stuffed up.
There was
It is what
no
it is.
fucking beer line.
No, yeah.
Yeah, there you
people
go.
didn't get it. Yeah.
So that experiment is they're going to have a quarter and be like, okay, the whole price gouging thing, we might want to rethink how we do that. Because.
Yeah.
Last night was the first time I've been to a concert in probably 10 fucking years, and I think the last one we went to was the Ted Nugent one, and it was the same fucking shit that was out there at Verizon. Because, like, we got in the door, and I, like, went to go use the restroom, and I was like, Mikey, grab me a tall boy.
It was 22.
It came out, yeah. And he's like, here. He was like, it was $22. I'm like, what the
For 2 beer,
fuck?
yeah. At that point, so it doubled.
And Chris sued Mikey.
It was
He's like,
$11
I did
a
not
beer.
clear that.
Yeah.
No, I went and found the beer man.
At that point, we were paying $11 a beer whenever that concert was, and then now it went up, and now it's like 18.
So hopefully y'all didn't. Nobody was reckless in this. Aaron's like just wanted to blow money because he has it.
Nobody ever. Aaron made a joke as soon as we all turned around after we got gouged that first time, and Aaron was like, we were all talking about the price, and Aaron goes, "Wow, man, what a steal!"
Such a deal, man.
It's just great. Dude. He was like, "What a steal, man!"
Yeah,
Am I
that's
right?
not. Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, so it was not a steal, but the concert was a great time. I like the venue. I think the venue's cool. Getting in and out of there isn't really bad as long as you're not going to hop
Yeah,
on
it's
the
a venue
highway.
I've been going. So that's throughout my life. The first Chili Peppers show that my sister, when I was in high school, like seriously, I've probably been there. Most of the seminal concert experiences were at that venue.
And it's cool. It's a cool spot, right? Up on the lawn. Has been
Wait.
what you've been. Where you sit normally?
Yeah, no, there's always been lawn. There's a couple times, but generally, yeah, it's just you get in the lawn. It's kind of the amphitheater setup. What? Are you hearing fireworks or there's a bunch people shooting off? What are y'all listening for?
Okay, yeah, I guess it is fireworks.
Well,
It's close.
selection day.
Fireworks?
Yeah, those are fireworks. I live in an area where they'll celebrate things. They're doing that last night.
They
So,
just
yeah.
there's things happen. We're just making sure that the pugs started.
Making
to
sure
act
that
strange.
we weren't about to all just perish.
It's okay. Baby.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
like
the world I live in.
So, anyways, back on track.
3 days.
Yeah, so I was gonna say other things that have happened between then and now, and on last episode. Now, the Dodgers have won the World Series.
So that happened.
That
Yeah.
happened, and
Normally not so excited.
not excited. But there was one exciting fact about this.
A couple things. The Yankees losing in
Yes.
such incredible
Yeah, so
fashion.
is that a sweep?
No, it wasn't a
Almost.
sweep. They did lose in 5
It was
games.
a sweep
though.
in spirit.
Mikey, goodness.
They yeah, it was not a good performance by the Yankees.
scored
The top
all
of the
their
5th
runs
inning.
in one game.
That inning is going to haunt that organization and those players, unfortunately, for a long time.
Good, as it should.
And yeah,
Fuck
Freddie
the
Freeman
Yankees.
became the MVP of the World Series,
we
which
know
was cool.
how
And the
Jeff
MVP
feels
of my
about
heart.
And the
Yep.
MVP of Jeff's heart. Jeff's heart.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you got a tattoo of him or something honoring him. And that's
I
a serious
mean,
thing. I'm
it
not
was-
even joking. I'm
it-
saying that in seriousness.
Would it be safe to say that it was a total eclipse of the heart?
Of the heart? Yeah.
Of the heart.
Yeah.
If he was still a Brave, there definitely would be tattoo consideration, but I can't get a tattoo of a
He
Dodger,
said, "Hey,
bro.
no, he's a Dodger."
You know,
Yeah.
still my.
Is FF just for Freddie Freeman?
It's like getting a divorce with the love of your life.
Yeah,
you know
just,
what I mean?
Yeah. It's like, yeah, I'm not going to go down a rabbit hole.
What's the rabbit?
The rabbit hole isn't worth going down.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, whatever conversation would spark from that comment.
Yeah. Who knows?
Crazy ones.
Insane ones. So that was
Insane
cool. You had a good
ones.
time hanging out.
Yep, we
going
had
to
a
the
good
concert.
time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the music was.
It was good.
I would
was good
enjoy it
music.
if I were with people. I would never pay to go see. Like, there's a few bands I go pay to see. But I mean,
They're
what's
one of the few that I would pay to go see.
Yeah.
Obviously.
What were you gonna ask?
No, go on.
About I don't know. Yeah, I agree. It's like going to concerts. It's like
I'm not a big concert guy.
Well, here's
Neither.
yeah, neither am I. But here's my thing is that it's like I'm a concert guy in this aspect. Like if either the person has like for instance Charlie Robinson. I'll start there. Charlie Robinson.
That's a good one.
He's R.I.P. He was around for a long time by the time I saw him. Like he was around from the 90s. He was playing music, and I saw him in like
as
early.
Bob Dylan is now, though.
No, let's hear Mr. Dylan.
No, I'm sorry. I let you finish. Then I might have to say
Let's hear Mr. Dylan.
So I went to
Dylan,
one of his
speak up.
concerts. Like he would already, hit his peak notoriety and all that, and he was still doing shows and touring around. And I saw him at like this bar in Fort Worth. Pretty much had to drive through a tornado warning, like we're on the outside of one to get to this, and it started pissing rain while we're at the show. But he put on a great show. We paid $20 to get in. It was in the back of this bar. Like, I mean, it was a great show. It was very small. It was awesome. The next time I got to see him was again super small show. Felt it was like $20. I saw him at the Granada. I saw him for free. Saw him for free over at the Bomb Factory or something.
Well, it's like when Matthew won the tickets to go see Social Distortion at
Lakewood.
Hey, I love that band.
Oh, dude!
But my point
I've
is,
seen them more than anybody.
My point is what I've learned is that like I don't want to go see bands or it's like I think it's kind of crappy to go see.
Reach for the sky.
I think it's kind of crappy to go see bands that have blown up and everything or whatever. It's
like Nirvana.
It kind of like sucks going to see them because like even last night was awesome, but at one point they it's like they didn't there was no encore. It was just like they played a song and then poof gone, and it was like shit, I thought they were gonna I mean
no, I'll let you finish your thought.
I do and I don't.
I do is not a good reason.
Yeah, I mean it's like I do and I don't because it's like I don't enjoy it because it just makes you feel like they just came in here, punched the clock, did what we fulfilled their obligation of the time slot.
I disagree to that. There's another way to look at that.
Okay, well that's cool.
I agree.
We can talk. Yeah.
I think someone who's so good at what they do, they make it feel like they're just punching in, like in a sense they are just going to work. And if they perfected it to that point where they just like walk in, put on a hell of a show, like 99% of the they're just giving it their all and it's succeeding and everyone loves it, and everyone goes home happy. Like that's what they're selling when you go to a show anyway. You know what I mean? So like the person I would think of. Like when I'm not a big concert guy, but I saw Jack White live in New Orleans, and it kind of felt like that, where he was just like, he was just doing his normal thing that he had done everywhere, all over, but it just felt, like awesome at the same time. Like,
I love Jack White.
It was a great experience.
Respect him, like as a musician and guitarist. I really have deep admiration for him.
And you have people like the people you're talking about are like Bob Dylan, who when you go to see him, they're not going to play the shit
and that was
like. They're not going to play for you. I know. I'm just saying. They're not. It's a good example though. They're not going to play for the crowd. Like you're buying a ticket for the names to say you went to that concert, but like he doesn't give a fuck. He's just going to play what he wants to play.
Well, and isn't Jack White doing didn't he just release a new album or something? And hasn't he been doing
he's been making solo stuff, albums. Like it was either earlier this year he had one out. He has had a lot of albums out. People haven't heard this stuff.
About where they were talking about where he's basically like touring, but he's not like it's like pop-ups where he's just going somewhere and fucking like
playing the new album.
Sounds on brand, but I'm not aware of it.
It's pretty cool.
It's not like tickets. He's going to where it's
he's
a true
Rubber
Gloves or something up there. You know.
He's a true guitarist thing,
or Andes or some shit, where it was like he's just popping up and doing shows.
I have to look that up because
that's pretty cool. I like that.
I feel like I heard that on the radio like a week or two.
He was amazing though. Like that show was amazing. He Voodoo Fest is a 2-night festival.
I know about Voodoo Fest.
So what happened was Green Day was supposed to be the second night, and like no one was that like thrilled about it. No, Green Day was the first night, and Metallica was the second night.
Hey.
Yeah, Voodoo Fest's a big
So
thing.
Billy Joe from Green Day went to rehab.
What year is
then,
this, just so we have an idea? Like,
I don't remember, man. This was, I can tell you which girlfriend it was.
yeah, it's fine. Green Day is probably
That
American Idiot. It's
actually
probably
was-
on American Idiot.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it was definitely after that.
yeah.
But he went to rehab. They subbed in Jack White, who was just around the area at the time and could like do it. And then they moved Metallica up to the first night, and then fucking Jack White to end the whole like festival, and he like brought the house down. It was amazing.
That's
But also
awesome.
like Coheed and Cambria was there, and also like
That's cool.
like Nas was there in like the middle of the day, and like not a lot
Yeah,
of people
Voodoo
were like
Fest.
there to see Nas, but it was like really fucking cool.
Yeah.
And like all the fucking dubstep was very popular at the time, so like all those guys were there, like Flex Pavilion and
Yeah, that's
Skrillex
like
and all
y'all's like
them.
AC. Like I've been to ACL. It's like a 3-day thing. It's like as big as that, but Louisiana. It's like a
Louisiana.
multi-day.
and then you have like
thing,
all
yeah.
the Louisiana music and all the New Orleans music and all those bands going on at the same time at the smaller like venues and stuff. It's really
Yeah,
cool.
that's really cool.
That's probably the best concert I've ever been to. Talking about concerts, so that's what I always think about is Jack White bringing the house down. in
Hell
New
yeah.
Orleans.
I saw Ted Nugent at the horse races, and he lit an arrow on fire and shot a guitar. And I had eaten a cookie. I ate a cookie that was laced with
cookie.
things.
Amphetamines.
And it was amazing. By the time he was playing Stranglehold, dude, I'm telling you, dude,
that mean strangle.
dude, I mean, dude, there was this guy that walked up next to us. It was a real, I mean, he looked like he's been following with Ted Nugent since the early days.
A lifer, but
Yeah,
he's in
yeah.
his
A lifer.
age.
And
Yeah.
so it's like, but also too like a rough lifer.
Oh.
Rough.
I
This
feel like
old
most
fella
Ted
was
Nugent's
rough.
fans
Dude,
probably look
this guy
like
was rough,
rough
and
life.
he
Like Ted
and
Nugent
also
fans.
like he smelled that.
Yeah.
But he came up next to me, and he
smelled
looked,
like truckers. They
Bro,
look like
he like-
truckers who have survived.
he fucking had something, and he was smoking it, and it just did.
Yeah.
I could hear that shit like crackling, and like I could smell
It's
like
crack mixed with
I'm like,
ayahuasca.
dude, I was
I'm like,
like,
what?
And he looks at me, and he was like, he
Smoking
looks
a
at me, and
Momo.
he's like nodding his head, and he's like, yeah, man. And I'm like, yeah, dude. I'm like nodding my head at him. And then he's like, holds this thing out to me. I'm like, and I was just
I'm like,
like,
nope.
I was
You're
like,
making- bro, you hit
I'm
that
good,
shit,
dude.
and your whole
And
lip-
so-
Stuff smoke doesn't
so I
crackle
look
like that.
I look at my buddy, and I lean over to him, and I was like, hey, man, I was like, don't smoke whatever this guy got, dude. And he was like, did you? And I was like, no, I'm just saying, if he offers you, I think I'd pass on whatever he
Dude,
got.
that's smart advice.
Oh.
That is smart advice
no,
in any
it
social
was laced
situation. Even if there's smoke, it's like, yeah.
It's laced with coke. 'Cause,
There's
like,
been-
that was the thing. It's
there's
like
been-
the
There's
sweat
been
pops.
there's been times where it's like, so for instance, the one time I have shared is or with other, I've shared in certain situations, but it's been like in Colorado, whenever we went for the first year that weed was legalized, and out back they had a tent where you could
Juggalos.
smoke, and these people were
I smoked
like
with the
sharing.
Juggalos.
He
Like,
did.
He's like, don't hit
Yeah,
that shit.
well, that was.
I don't know
you
what-
you read the environment that you were in, so
Yeah.
you kind of, yeah.
Yeah,
You were intelligent.
but
in your
otherwise,
assessment.
yeah, I'm
Yeah, if
not
you had a
like you
concert,
gotta read.
expect-
Yeah,
Yeah, just read. Just be smart. Read the room. Read the environment, and
Yeah.
listen for the sound that it might be making when there's some smoke
Yeah,
in it.
exactly. And look at it. If it looks like a sparkler, I don't think I'd hit it. It's probably you're probably gonna be
My
running like
lips
Smokey
and my
through the
throat
hood.
are numb
That's
now.
great.
So either way, I guess we could get into some topics.
Yeah.
I kind of
No, I
had a,
think Jeff. No, Jeff has something. I believe, right?
Maybe.
well,
Yeah,
Jeff's
yeah,
in a
dude.
spaceship.
Yeah, you do.
Jeff, are you in a good spot right now? Are you fueled
Yeah, I can
up?
land it. I can
No,
land it.
well,
Hold
don't
on.
land. No, you don't have to
Oh,
land
no?
it. You-
Okay. Okay.
I'm just
I'll
making
put the
sure you're
autopilot
fueled
on.
up and you
Just-
got it on
yeah, we're good.
autopilot.
Yeah, no.
man,
Once
the
you're good,
O2's
like you're taking charge of this next.
What's your oxygen meter at right now? You good on your O2?
We're at 92, man. We're good.
Okay.
We're not gonna have
Yeah.
to. We're not
He's-
gonna have to get Elon to.
he's
come
breathing.
up
I'm
there
the
and save
traveler
you.
you're talking to
He's
at the beginning of the show.
Pure octane. All right, so
If
take
we need
us
to,
away.
we can hit Elon up.
Yep.
I hear he's saving astronauts now.
Take us away. Astronaut saving. He couldn't
Yeah,
save
Jeff.
a
Major
sandwich.
Tom.
How would you guys like me to set this up?
Well, yeah,
Go ahead.
just yeah, you're in charge. Just tell us what. Just there you go. Casually.
Well, I
No.
guess the easiest way to put it, I always like having debates on like favorite this, and I'm always making lists of like top 5 this, and like
All right.
we talk about movies and shows and stuff like that a lot. I just kind of like to have the argument of like out of the stuff you saw versus the stuff I saw, what did you like the most, and who's the best set of stuff? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm right
So
there with you.
so the idea came to me of like who's the best TV dad like of all time, and I thought maybe we could just grab
Tim
like a
Allen.
couple of them and just like put them like up against each other and just see who we could come up with as like and then brand like the Mikey and Me podcast official like TV dad, and then go on with other categories and stuff like that. Just it's an idea. I thought we could try it.
This is why I put this guy on the payroll.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try to make this dark mode. But yeah, keep going.
So I found I made my own list. I have a couple personal ones off of shows.
Okay.
And then I put a couple ones together that I just thought would be funny and interesting to put up against it and see how far they go.
I love that you did put him in there, Jeff. The two. I said Tim Taylor when you asked me earlier. I said Tim Taylor and Fred Sanford. And I love.
Yeah,
I
put him
think
up
Fred
against.
Sanford's
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
win.
I put him up
Fred
against
Sanford
Philip
is-
Banks.
Fred Sanford's going to beat everybody.
You big dummy.
Yeah.
Lamont. Plus, he's made it like his career talking shit to the church's
Let's
chicken
let it be
lady.
bright. I don't overthink it, but it should be dark. But that will just be a bright light in us. Who illuminates us? All right, so you can see what I'm sharing there, right, Jeff? This is kind of
Yes.
put these.
So we put it through the randomizer.
Yeah, so we didn't pick the mix-up or the matches, right?
Right.
But everyone is here that we wanted, correct?
Yes. And then there they went. Okay, there they are.
Yeah, so it's a matter of conversationally, we're talking through each one and then picking the winner, right? So
I say Fred Sanford. That's my vote. He's gonna.
No, that's not how we're doing
I
it.
think that's how.
You'll
it
just-
works.
you'll just yell
Jeff's
out.
leading, so Jeff, you tell us how to do it.
Can I nominate Ray Shoesmith?
No.
I nominate Ray Shoesmith.
Who's Ray Shoesmith?
You motherfucker.
He's
Mr. In-Between.
already. I think we used him in one before.
Yeah, that was in the... Yeah, because
Yeah, we've used him.
him and Hansi went to war.
Yeah, and I'm just making sure that the people who might be watching can see what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
absolutely.
Yeah, so the idea would be that contestant 1 versus contestant 2 would lead to a matchup between line 2, contestant 1, contestant 2.
All right, so we just
Walter White.
talk down each of these and pick a winner, yeah?
And the idea is we're not basing this off of like who could beat someone up or who could,
Well,
be
then
a
I
better
say this is
be a
insane.
better dad to a child. It's who's your favorite TV dad. And as soon as I'm about to start this, we forgot one. Damn.
Well, I just replaced
Yeah,
one of these.
Ray
Just
Shoesmith.
tell me to...
Ray Shoesmith.
Yeah, Stan Smith or Mike Brady. Mike Brady. I just replaced
We put Walter White, but the best dad. He would played a much better dad in Malcolm. in the
Oh,
Middle.
Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Is it Hal maybe?
Hal. Yes. There it is.
I think it's bullshit, though, that if you're going to have it, like,
Who'd
who's
you
the
just
best
take out?
dad, and it's not my dad can beat up
Brady
your
maybe
dad.
from Brady
Mike
Bunch.
Brady. Yeah, that one was just kind of a token cannon
Yeah.
fodder. One might say.
Yeah, he was just a swinger.
All right.
Whoa.
What about
So
John
we-
Ritter?
Oh, yeah, that Brandon Jones, that'd be on...
No, we're
that'd be on
good.
his
Keep
side.
going.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
who is
This
it?
is this we're working with.
So let's just. I mean, there's 4 of us, so this could get a little tricky. But I just say we start off at line 2 and just
All right.
fucking match them up, see what happens.
Ned Stark.
So
So do we
It's
vote?
Walter White versus Archie Bunker.
yeah. So that probably be smart. Like you can give your pick.
Walter
and
White.
then- yeah. Walter White. I think that's.
Walter White, just because Breaking Bad.
But, I
And
mean,
that's
gotta,
Where's
You can- no,
Chris?
you can
Come on.
voice whatever, but-
Archie Bunker was holding it down, though.
No, as far as
Classic.
like impact on
As far as the
television and
classic
that
dads.
character.
Yeah, it was like he was
Which I have to separate that.
He was the old guard.
Yeah.
He was not going away without a fight.
He's in this fight for a reason, guys.
Exactly.
But that so that you know he
didn't make
existed.
it. He didn't make it.
Walter White. Yeah. All right. Ooh.
Yeah,
This
who's
next
Ned
one.
Stark?
Ned Stark versus Tony Soprano.
Man,
I don't even know who Ned Stark
I'm picking Ned.
That's Game of Thrones.
Oh,
Tony Soprano.
Tony. All day.
Again, but remember,
All day.
yeah, have you, yeah.
Two HBO like just shows of like the century. I mean, just because Ned Stark only made it through one season, you'd have to go with Tony in my mind.
Oh, so, okay. Forget.
Can't
I'll
be a
adjust the
dad
way I
if you're
pick
not
things then.
around.
All right.
I mean, they're the same style of person, so like it would be.
No, yeah,
Matt
it's fine.
feels like you were influenced by us.
Oh no, no.
No, yeah,
I
you
mean,
talked about the duration of seasons, like that, comparing.
I would
it's
say
fine.
overall.
It's
I-
fine.
I like-
Overall, the overall,
Overall,
Tony
I
would
would
be the
probably
pick for
say
everybody.
I like Game of Thrones more than I like Sopranos. Ooh, hot take.
No, yeah, I mean,
Wow.
yeah. Well, we won't spend. So
that.
Dan Connor and Peter Griffin are the next two.
Tony's more
Jennifer.
iconic. That's what I'm getting at.
Yes.
So
So here's Dan Connor.
That's who I was wondering.
That's Roseanne. That's John Goodman.
Yeah, John Goodman.
I think
Peter
we're.
Griffin.
It is good. But
So yeah, it's Dan
no.
Connor.
He's a
versus
great classic.
And the next
versus-
one, Homer Simpson.
We got to say them out
Sorry.
loud for anyone who's listening.
Okay, Chris Rock is Terry Crews on Everybody Hates Chris. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that show, but
a good
he's
show.
like
Yeah,
he's
he's
a
very
classic
good.
like TV dad. But I mean Homer wins. It's Homer's.
I would put Bernie
still-
Mac ahead of.
Well, he wasn't the dad.
Like,
I
Bernie
thought
Mac
that
was-
didn't
Bernie
make
Mac
it.
He was an
the
uncle.
dad.
He was the uncle.
Same.
No,
He wasn't the TV dad.
He's the one the dad.
Take care of these crackhead
All right.
babies.
So we're.
Best lead in a comedy though, from,
Like
like of a
a
sitcom.
Oh no, dude! I love Bernie
Mac.
Mac.
Bless your
He was so
head
great.
to the
Yeah, I
white
would go Homer in this one.
Yep.
This is
Let's
setting up
put
for
H.
nice round 2 as well.
All
Oh
right.
yeah, just why?
I don't even know.
Damn, Jeff. No, I
Okay,
can't.
Gomer Adams from Adam's
That's,
Family.
I know that
Gomer?
one. Gomez.
Who the
Gomez.
fuck is Gomer
It's
Adams?
the second one. I have no idea who they are.
Gomez.
Oh,
Adams. I should say
okay, yeah,
Gomez.
it's dude.
Gomez.
His brother Gomez
Yeah,
and
dude.
Gomer.
No, if you see the picture of him, it's like
Pull
he's
up,
an iconic.
pull up what Phil Dunphy, what he looks like. You guys have seen this guy.
Sit down.
Let's see if we're friend.
I hate who you put up Fred Sanford against. That's tough.
It was randomized.
Oh,
Yeah, no, it was randomized.
okay.
A Modern Family. Okay.
Modern Family, yeah, but look at his, look at who it is actually. Like,
Oh, it is what's his name from
Oh,
Married with
Gomez.
Children, isn't it?
no. You can't bring up images. You have to ask AI everything.
No, it just honestly, it was like set. It was right. It was right there. So
well
we
said,
can look at
Jeff. Well said,
it.
Jeff.
No, it's literally like set right there. So
I want to know more about.
It's like
Phil.
AI. Show me this image. It was like,
Describe
you
his,
could just go to
describe
Google,
his
bro.
face.
I know.
me.
I just literally have to disable an extension because
Yeah.
if I just do it, it's gonna do it
Describe
that
Phil
way. So I'm
Dunphy's
just like,
face
you know.
to me as I'm a blind man who's never seen before.
In the form of a
Oh my gosh, I
16th
just
century
disabled it.
I'm
novelist.
not gonna sit here while
In
y'all
the-
just talk about my damn co-host like this.
in the form of a question from Jeopardy.
I just turned it off, and I just don't know what. I disabled the extension.
I will
so
end
if
this
it-
father
Every
list.
day we get further from God.
And it makes me Phil Dunphy. Boom.
Oh,
This
okay,
guy.
yeah, him. He was the asshole from.
Dude,
Yep,
what's it
telling
called?
you- Dawn of the Dead.
Whatever the Dead.
Dawn of the
Zack
Dead,
Snyder
yeah, he was
Dawn of the Dead.
remake. which
He,
is
and he
one of
plays
the
that. He
best
plays that
Yeah.
character well, but he plays the wholesome TV dad. Honestly,
Yeah, I'll
he's
pick
my
him.
he's my vote. He's my
No,
vote.
wait, so yeah.
Gomez
that's
is classic,
two best,
but
so
Phil
we-
Dunphy
that's
is
two
TV
Pete,
dad.
So what do you?
I say Gomez.
So you're just we either stalemate because there's four of us. So
I don't know.
Flip a
I
coin.
mean, it's like.
yeah, coin flip is the decider if we get to a stalemate. So if you side with him, then okay, we know.
I don't.
But if you don't know,
Here's your coin. Heads. Wait, we haven't even established who's who.
Heads is contestant 1, tails is contestant 2.
All right,
always.
Get another one because I'm not digging that fucking.
So heads is Gomez, tails is the other guy.
And it looks like tails.
Tails. So
Tails.
Phil.
The other guy.
Phil Dunphy. Let's
Hell
go.
yeah, that's our
Wow.
guy. Sweet.
No.
Man, that's so.
This isn't even close in my mind.
Oh, dude, it kind of is though.
But it's
Because I know you're gonna say Fred Sanford.
Yeah. Yeah, Fred to me.
Yeah.
But Uncle Phil, dude.
No, I know. That's why I say it's hard to do.
Oh no, he's not a
so
dad.
no, we should each
He's
like,
an uncle.
Each get a chance to say cast or
actually,
vote. You know what I mean?
Out of
That's
the
how he
4
wants to do it.
children on the show, he's the father of 3 of them. He's not the dad
like
to the main
Hillary and
character.
Carlton count as
Okay.
characters.
All right, so
Carlton counts.
Okay.
so
So no,
cast-
y'all can talk, but then I'm gonna do a tally. So I'll be like, okay.
So
Bro,
cast your vote,
hold up.
Jeff.
I want him to acknowledge that Carlton Banks is one of the greatest characters out of a television
I
sitcom.
don't know.
Before he says Uncle Phil doesn't matter as being Carlton's dad and
He was
Hillary
like,
and Ashley.
I
and
just
the
feel
little
like
baby
Fred
that came
Sanford
later.
would call
4
Uncle
kids.
Phil a big dummy, and
And
Uncle
it-
Phil wouldn't do a damn thing about it.
I'm gonna give it to Fred Sanford, but I'm just saying,
100%.
show
One
Uncle
day
Phil
Alright,
some
so
this
respect.
entire
Fred.
empire of junk will
Vote for
be
Fred.
yours.
Yeah, it's Fred Sanford.
All right, who's your vote, Mikey?
He's
Fred
got
Sanford.
legs too.
Fred
This
Sanford.
one, this could be the one.
I think it's unanimous.
He
I would
was
say
like
for
he
him
was
too.
like the original X-rated.
But then
comic.
look, the next one down. This is a matchup.
Oh, it is.
Oh,
But I know my. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I can talk through it. I know my vote would be,
I know
but
mine. Yeah, my
it
vote
really
is
depends
like,
on the person, what they grew up. in.
Tim Taylor, Al Bundy. Exactly,
Tim,
man.
Tim
For
Taylor's got to be.
me, for me, it
like,
was Tim Taylor.
it's Tim Taylor's
Yeah.
got to be.
I
a
watched
number,
that with my
he's got to be
family
a number
every
1 seed in
Thursday
the whole
night.
thing.
Yeah, Married with Children. I knew it existed, but it wasn't something I was
Yeah.
really allowed to.
It was
or
late.
put
It was
on.
a late night TV show for me.
Right.
You
Tim
know,
Taylor.
So it's like I need to go back and watch it and appreciate
Mikey?
it.
Tim Taylor.
Tim Taylor.
Yeah. No,
The
it's
Tool
like,
Man.
Like that's the number 1 seed right there. The,
Yeah,
like,
I agree. And I think even if I
Even
did
before we
fully
started,
embrace
like-
Bundy, Tim Taylor, just his character, he did well for a reason. Like he's iconic. Like he really is. Tool Man.
Well, and
He
his
literally was
neighbor,
able to
too.
make noises.
more power.
Heidi ho there, neighbor.
Heidi ho. Yep. All right. So what we got next? Ooh.
Stan Smith.
I got to go with Hal on this one.
Yeah. I don't know. Stan Smith is off the top of my
American
head.
It's the American Dad.
Oh, okay. He's funny, but yeah, no. I'm Hal.
He's
not a real
praise animator.
Father from Malcolm in the
And
Middle.
it's
Walter White.
Yeah.
Brian Cranston's
Yeah, I guess
actual
I'd have to go Hal.
first role, yeah. But
Yeah.
he's a great character. I watched Malcolm in the Middle, so that's whenever Breaking Bad came out, I was like, oh, the
what
dad from
happened
that.
to.
Oh, excuse you. All right, where are we at?
Bob Belt. Is that Bob's Burgers?
Hold on, we're missing. Okay, never mind. You're good.
All right, so yeah, you take over.
Jeff
so
went to
who's
school
next?
in Louisiana. So he
Bob
can't count.
Belcher is Bob's Burgers.
Called it.
Howard
So what's the
Cunningham-
matchup though? Just state the matchup.
Howard Cunningham is the dad from Happy Days.
Okay,
Oh,
so it's
okay.
Bob's from Bob's Burgers versus the dad from Happy Days, Howard.
Who's just once again classic wholesome TV dad. Like
All
as
right.
far as the
Monday,
classics on
Tuesday,
here.
Yeah.
Happy days.
So yeah, my vote would go to Bob's Burgers. Bob.
Yeah, I guess we got to go recency bias on this one.
No, just heart bias. Literally
Yeah,
just,
no, it's like I honestly don't
happens to
really
be recency,
remember.
yeah.
I honestly don't really remember the dad from Happy Days. I remember the fucking Fonz.
Yeah. I guess Bob.
Bob.
Let's make it unanimous. I'll go Bob too.
Yeah, I mean, no, I can.
Howard was just
I
a
could
classic
suck-
one that I liked.
No, he is a classic, and he was really, if you actually watch the show, a wise father figure. He actually was there and provided a lot of insight and throughout different episodes. You know, to the great. He knows his name, the director now, but Ron Howard. But yeah, I mean, yeah. So it's good that he was on here, but we must move on. So
These
who's next?
two are tough.
Ooh.
Yeah,
So Jeff, who do we got here? We got
Red.
Red. Okay, I can. Red
Red
Foreman.
Foreman, Michael Bluth.
Yeah, Arrested Development.
Yep. That 70s show and Arrested Development.
Wait, Matt, pause real quick. Take out George Bluth and put in fucking Alan Matthews because we had.
I picked Bluth though, so he needs
You
to be
picked
here
Michael
somewhere.
Bluth. No, go down. George
okay,
Bluth.
the dad. Which George Senior's
Yeah.
honestly. So who do you want to put instead?
Alan Matthews was supposed to be in this list.
Can I replay it? Because I want George Senior personally.
Yeah, right. It's like we need to
then
negotiate these terms
Put
here.
in on the last two.
Okay.
Where Michael Kyle is, because that's just Damon Wayans for my wife and kids. This one's gonna be perfect. Alan Matthews. I have a tidbit about this.
Okay, so we'll get down there. So current matchup is Red Foreman from that 70s show dad.
Michael
Bluth, who is Jason Bateman from his character from Arrested Development.
I go Red Foreman all day.
I'm Michael Bluth.
It's like
I know. It's like your guy.
I love Michael Bluth, but it's got to be Red.
He definitely put up with more for his son.
All right, no, that's
like where did you learn your parenting skills, Red? Korea.
Next matchup: Cliff Huxtable versus Carl Winslow. Cliff Huxtable from
Carl Winslow is actually asleep for this vote. So
this character's Huxtable. That was Cosby.
That was Bill Cosby.
Okay.
So Carl Winslow,
the dad from Family Matters.
Hold on, we have
the
to take
cop from Die.
all the bullshit because people are gonna be like P Diddy was fucking Carl Winslow.
I'm going Carl Winslow all day.
Yeah, Carl.
I've got Carl all day.
We'll just
I'm
make
at
it
116. Goddamn,
we don't need to spend enough time on them. Let's move on. So Frank Lambert from
Step by Step. That's Patrick Duffy
versus
that's
Andy
Patrick
Taylor.
Duffy.
Who's Andy Taylor from?
I don't know either of these people.
Patrick
Duffy. Andy Taylor is Andy Griffin's show.
Oh.
He's actually playing Andy Taylor.
Yeah,
and Frank Lambert is Patrick Duffy from Step by
I love
Step.
Step by Step.
Yeah, me too.
Dude, he's
Patrick Duffy was
classic
great.
90s
He was from Dallas.
TV
Patrick
dad.
Duffy.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know that. He was a known thing because he was a huge part of the Dallas soap opera. Yeah. And that's the reason he even existed on that show. Which
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's crazy. But Patrick Duffy was.
How the fuck do you vote against Andy Griffith?
Andy Taylor. That's my vote.
Yeah,
me too.
I mean, that's like.
That's a good one. I'm gonna go Frank just because 90s
All right, so
TV dad.
what is your vote? Because it's deciding. And if it's
fucking Andy.
Bro,
right.
we're also missing.
Oh,
It's
come
okay.
on.
Keep going.
Yeah.
I know. Keep going.
we don't need to overthink it. Sandy Cohen versus Frank Costanza. Sandy Cohen.
From the OC, Peter Gallagher, the eyebrows.
Okay.
From
the
OC.
I mean, yeah. I'm
Fuck you
Frank.
guys. People like that show.
I love Seinfeld.
But Frank Costanza.
Yeah, we don't need to waste time. Everyone's
Come
gonna
on.
pick Frank.
Yeah.
Costanza. Bro. All day.
All right.
Best of us for the rest of us.
Yes. No. I love him, and he's also a great dad and
Who is
freaking
Danny
King of
Turner?
the Hill. Could have been both characters.
Bob Saget.
Yeah, no, fucking.
Bob
Bluth.
Saget versus Bluth.
Bluth.
Yeah, I'm George Senior.
I'm senior.
Yeah.
There was $200,000 lining the
There's
walls of that
always
banana
money
stand.
in the banana stand.
Jeff, who's
Sir
your vote?
Patrice, what was it they called it?
He's
a
Firebug. Oh, he's a
Danny
flamer.
Turner.
Yeah.
Bob
All right, so
Saget.
he's Danny Turner. It's his good Bob Saget, R.I.P. But is everyone
Yeah,
Bluth.
it's got to be Bluth.
George.
all right?
Yeah. Even though,
Big
it's
Bear.
like it wasn't fair for Danny Turner. to have to
Bluth.
go
Yeah,
up
it
against
doesn't
such
matter.
an icon.
Alan, so this is your fight here, buddy, Jeff. Alan Matthews,
I don't know who that is.
you told me you put him there, versus Floyd Henderson, who sounds like an actual fighter, but I'm not.
Yeah, I don't know.
The
I don't know who either of these people are.
well, Alan Matthews is here. So who's he?
That's Alan Matthews is the dad from Boy Meets World. Who's honestly one of just the best
love that
actual
show.
dads.
I
out
love
of
that show
anybody on
too,
this
but I
list.
don't remember the
Yeah.
dad from that show.
I remember him. It's got to be Alan.
Who's Floyd
And
Henderson?
Floyd Henderson is the dad from Smart Guy, which is like the black version of Boy Meets World. So it's funny they got matched up.
That's unfortunate.
But
we'll move on.
honorable mention though that fucking Dr. Seaver from Growing Pains, Alan
yeah.
Thicke, R.I.P. We should have put him against the
The
other
Thick
dead
man.
guy in that list one. But yeah,
That's good.
I like where we're going. Let's go
yeah, I
next
mean,
round.
and we could, have this do the tournament now, or have this be the next time, or we just work through it now because I have to randomize the matchups.
I say we.
I like this.
I think Ray Shoesmith still wins.
All right, so yeah, just
Ray Shoesmith would beat them all.
You want to table it?
I'm not even saying that, or let's just take a quick break.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll be right back.
Mikey's gonna.
And we're back after that break. All the boys went to pee together. We all went and took a pee together.
Communal piss.
Everybody sat down.
Yep, we all hung out.
Nope, that's not true.
Jeff.
Right.
Was
Jeff.
the only one
Okay,
that
yeah,
sat
Jeff
down.
is the only one that
we're
sat
all
to
just
pee.
trying to.
We were
Thank
just
you.
showing
Why
solidarity.
stand when you can sit?
It's
Yeah.
like,
Take
I
a
think
break.
Winston Churchill
Winston
said
Churchill
that.
said that, right?
Why stand when you can
Curb
sit?
enthusiasm
Yeah,
reference.
there you go. And that's.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
So, Mr. Jeff,
We're
who do
gonna
we
get
got here?
back
We
into this list
randomized
of the best dictators.
the matchups from what was up. So, first two, we got
Jeff's
Walter.
favorite started with an H, right?
We got Walter White versus Carl Winslow.
Carl Winslow is a prototypical 90s TV dad. He is who you want here. Walter White was just kind of to be honest, he was a shitty dad and he lost his family at the end.
Yeah, he was a terrible dad.
But
No, everyone's vote you can have for whatever reason. So we know his vote.
That's
obviously.
mine. There it is. That's how I'm doing it. Vote it down for you. Okay.
My
These
vote,
shoes.
since I'm closest to Jeff, because the TV's right here, I feel like he's here. I'm here, and then Chris, and then Matthew.
Yeah,
over
not
there.
like spiritual or as friends or anything.
Walter
Definitely
White.
not.
I say Walter White.
he did everything so that his family wouldn't have to bear that burden. It's like,
Did he? Did he though? Did he do that though?
Well, initially.
Did he do
All right.
that though?
Initially.
Did
But,
So we got
yeah,
1
it's
on 1
gotta
so
be-
far, right?
I don't know.
So
It's
who's
got to
your-
be.
Don't overthink it.
You have to overthink it.
I know,
Alright.
Jeff. Don't, like, you did this to me. God.
Mikey, while he's overthinking it, who's your
Mikey
vote?
already
I
said.
said Walter White.
Okay. So that's Walter White.
Fuck it, I'll go Walter.
And I'm going Carl.
Yeah, imagine that. The Smiths
So we
are
know
going
this.
up
Okay,
against
so
me.
we have two. I'm with you, buddy, Carl. So this is where coin toss.
Flip it.
Let me
Flip
flip
it.
this coin.
Yep.
I'll
No.
show y'all how to
Can
flip
I
a
flip
damn
that
coin.
coin?
All right, so which
What's
is
what?
which?
Friday Night Lights and the
Heads
Texas
is
coin
we'll do
toss.
heads is
What'd
what's
you
his
say?
name?
Heads is Carl.
He said Friday Night
Lights and the Texas.
What is it?
coin
Don't
toss.
touch that coin
Heads
right
is
there.
Carl.
These fuckers with their coin tosses. Come
Heads
down
is
to
Carl.
coin toss.
Fuck you, Jeff. Texans and their coin toss.
Fuck.
It's either that or a duel, right?
Carl Winslow
Hales.
fucking won.
Yes,
was
he
Hales.
won.
Fucking stupid.
All right.
Flip it again.
2
It
and
was,
2, dude.
didn't we say
Y'all
best
keep
part out of
flipping.
three?
Nope.
No,
Carl?
no, we don't have time for 2 out of
Yeah.
3. Let's
Walter
Bro,
White.
it's a Texas coin
Walter
flip.
White
Jeff.
killed people for his family.
All right,
Yeah.
next
What did Carl
matchup. We're
Winslow
moving on.
ever do?
Hey,
He
we
ate
got a lot to work
donuts.
through here, guys. All right, so next matchup is Fred Sanford versus Phil Dunphy.
Fred Sanford.
100%.
Fred.
Not even close.
Easy.
Why not? Why not?
Next matchup, Red Foreman versus George Senior.
Red Foreman.
Good. Yeah, we're going Red. Basically, that 70 Show dad versus George Senior from Arrested Development, the elder.
I think Michael Bluth got knocked out a little too early. It happened. It's over. But Michael Bluth is a
No, the
better
funny thing
father
is, I
of
had
that
to put
show.
another person in here, and that wild card happened. Just we'll see. I'm going. My vote is George Senior.
I say
Like,
Red.
I made
All right. So,
Red
pop in
Foreman.
the attic.
who's your vote, Jeff?
Red.
Okay, so is your vote.
Let's say George Senior.
All right.
You fucking bitch.
All right. So,
Texas coin flip. Texas coin flip.
That's, he just
George.
wanted the coin flip.
Heads is what?
You're exactly
my
right,
guy.
Jeff.
He's just here for the coin flip, guys.
That's life, though, dude. Life is literally this random.
That was a bullshit flip.
No, he just flipped it 4 times after the flip. What did he
Heads.
do? Heads.
Hell yes, George.
George
Senior.
Senior.
Oh,
moves
he's
on.
so fucking.
Red Foreman?
Dude, that's the way life works.
Bro, caged wisdom? It's not fair. Caged wisdom? He cut the tip off
Big
of
Bear.
his shoe to make a
Big Bear.
Life is
never
this
called
is
him.
life,
He's
guys.
like reaching through the fence.
This is life. People get in car wrecks. Terrible things happen that we can't accept, but this happened, and we must move on. Next is Bob Belcher from Bob's Burgers versus Tony Soprano.
Tony Soprano.
Tony. So that's already enough to get it. Did you happen to have a different vote, Jeff?
Jeff wants a coin flip.
Yeah,
He's going
Bob.
for
No,
Bob.
no, we've already got 3, so it
Jeff's
doesn't
like,
matter.
I'm going for Bob. I want the coin
Yeah,
flip.
no, he needs someone else on the side, so that's Tony. All right, next matchup. Ooh, Frank Costanza versus Tim Taylor.
Tim Taylor.
Gotta be
Tim.
I
love Frank, but yeah, it's gotta be Tim.
More
Next matchup:
power.
Peter Griffin versus Hal, the the
gotta
father
be
from Out in
Peter.
the Middle. Yeah,
We couldn't have looked up his last name. It's fine.
Hal
Who?
in the middle. What's Malcolm?
Hal
Yeah,
versus.
It's Halcom.
yeah. I'm going
Okay.
Peter.
Halcom in the middle. Yeah,
So
it's
I'm
gotta
Peter.
be Peter.
So you're Peter. Where do you,
Yeah,
Mikey?
100% Peter.
All right, so Jeff, just so
Like,
that
who
your
knew a
voice is
retarded
heard,
guy could
here
have
was your
this
vote.
much fun?
It would have been Hal.
Okay, well, again, your voice matters, but yeah, didn't. Yeah.
Matthew snuck
Next,
him back
okay,
in.
this is where I had to pick someone random.
Someone,
I'll be gosh
someone
darned. Of course, I
random.
picked Michael Bluth. So we got Alan Matthews, which is your guy, right?
They massacred.
Jeff?
Look how they massacred my boy. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
put him back in.
versus Michael Bluth, who is just
And
the
who
main
is Jeff's
Jason
guy
Bateman.
again?
Yeah, who was Alan Matthews again?
Yeah, who is this guy I'm about to vote against? Boy Meets World.
No, Boy Meets World Dad.
Oh yeah, the dad that I don't remember
Oh,
from
yeah.
that show.
I'm gonna go with Alan. This is tough, but I am.
What?
No, you're not. Shut the fuck up.
I am.
I'm
My
going
vote-
to go with Michael Bluth on this one.
You're going with Michael Bluth.
I'm going
Yes.
with Michael Bluth on this one.
Okay, Mikey.
This is another Texas coin
I'm
flip.
going Alan Matthews.
Coin flip,
on
baby.
this one.
Texas
Get the coin,
flip.
Bubba.
I'm going on, and we're going
Here we go. This
head.
is how you buy the Cowboys
who's head?
right
Bring
here.
up the picture of his
Matthews.
face.
Yeah,
Alan
here we go.
Matthews.
Heads for Alan
head.
Matthews.
Heads for Alan Matthews. Tails, baby. We win.
What is it? Heads?
Ask GPT
What is
to
Alan
describe
Matthews?
Alan Matthews'
Alan
face.
Matthews,
Ask
baby.
ChatGPT to describe his
That's
face.
3 coin flips in a row that have been
Dude,
heads, and all
everyone
3
has
have
been my guy.
Oh my god.
And
Alan
the thing is, I would have.
Matthews,
I
baby.
literally picked Alan because.
Eat rubber, liver lips.
Yeah, I won't get into details. Because
He
I would
is
pick Michael Booth, but there's. Yeah.
the
Then
GOAT.
okay, the next matchup Andy Taylor, which is the great. What's his name?
Yeah, that's a great.
Matlock. People know this, but.
Griffith.
Andy Griffith. Literally Andy Griffith versus Homer Simpson.
Oof.
That's tough.
Like Andy Griffith is like the father of like morals
Everything.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like
He's like the Jordan
Homer's
Peterson
the
of
dad
TV dad.
Who isn't immoral, but
Yeah.
he's just like barely. He shouldn't be a dad, but he's doing his best, and he's an average man.
Just hanging
he's
on.
iconic, dude.
Just hanging
Man,
on.
this is tough.
That
I
is-
go if I go Homer.
This is tough.
Well, yeah.
I go
it's
Homer.
Like I don't know. It's
I
Let's
feel
get
like
vote, Mikey. We can't be influenced, so I've picked mine.
Hang on.
So
Time out.
internally pick
Hang
it.
on. Time out.
for what?
Just time
I
out,
just don't want
Jeff.
people to be influenced by hearing someone else's, so I've picked my vote. And they're thinking
Write it on
yours.
this card and
On the
slide
count
it
of
over.
3.
Yeah,
On
we're
the count
just
of 3,
playing the
we're
honor
gonna
system.
say it. You ready?
Yeah. 1,
1, 2,
3.
Andy Taylor.
Jeff Stegosaurus.
So that was tough. That was really tough.
Jeff voted for a Stegosaurus. Let the record show.
I mean, how many cartoon dads can we have, really?
None.
That's
We
what I
got-
mean.
we've got
We have the
Peter.
wrong one.
Oh
at this
yeah,
point.
PETA. Yeah,
that was-
PETA's gonna be tough
So
to beat.
that gets us.
Oh, I'm voting
So our
against him,
final
yeah.
8 for next episode is going to be. We don't know the matchups. Who's going to be fighting here yet? But it's going to be Carl Winslow, Fred Sanford, George Senior, Tony Soprano, Tim Taylor, Peter Griffin, Alan Matthews.
I don't know how this dude has managed to sneak in to
now.
This
a
radio.
father,
For the next
Chris.
week, you have to watch the first season of Boy Meets World, or you can.
I've watched a ton of Boy
Dude,
Meets
I was-
World.
I
I
grew up
remember
on it.
Topanga. I don't
A
remember.
ton,
I don't.
yeah.
I remember the
dad.
dad, and I get
You little boy boner and.
I remember.
the actor.
That's
Was
what
he
you
Trent
remember.
Williams? But he
I
looks
remember
like
Sean
Trent
Playing
Williams.
with yourself after watching Topanga on
Oh, yeah, he
TGI
was,
Friday.
It's not him, but it looks like
No,
Trent
I know.
Williams.
Yeah, it's like I don't.
Bro,
Honestly,
he's
I
the
can't
GOAT.
even place. I can't even like.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't make it not true.
If there was a guy, it's like just because the song don't mean it's not true.
Don't make sense.
Alright,
got
sounds
any
good.
tips?
So next week we'll have a bracket and we'll have those guys battle it out. But so that was
We're
good,
gonna have
Jeff.
pictures next to their names. So.
Yeah, it'll be more refined for
AI
the
description.
visual audience. but
Sorry, Matt made me come up with this whole list like minutes before we started.
I love that. Yes, I did. I made him do it.
Yeah, we did make him. We make Jeff do a lot of things.
No,
We do make
Jeff-
him do a lot.
I love Jeff.
No, I did just kind of spring it on Matt at the beginning of taping. So
Yes.
thanks for
Like he's
entertaining my.
surrounded by pugs. Right?
No,
my
that's
ideas.
how great things happen. So, to move on from this next segment, what is called Matthew's. Could be an idea for a show.
Matthew talks to the machines.
No, I'm just gonna present an idea to everyone, and once I'm done, we can discuss it. So it could fundamentally be an idea for a show, but initially I had the idea out of just a truth position of what I think in life. So, I know this is for me to read, but so basically, the idea that I think we need to come up with a new language, right? So that we need to think seriously about developing a new language completely off the grid, in order to literally have a language that AI doesn't know, so that we're able to communicate with each other in the future and it not have any idea of what we're actually talking about. And it would literally just be the language just called human. So, but to do so, then I have a whole idea for a story that I could get into, but I think the fundamental idea of it is just, it wouldn't be starting now, but literally everything would have to be offline. You'd have to meet with people or do even mailing correspondence would be suspect. So it would literally be like the most underground in the truest sense, to where little message groups online, no, like that's anything that's online, anything digital is going to be suspect. So it literally has to be completely off there. But coming up with a language from the beginning, thinking ahead, 100 years, however many, 50 years from now, a language that humans can have to communicate that AI doesn't understand. And there could be many reasons why that's valuable, but I think that there is something to that. So that's my idea. And
How do you prevent it from learning the language?
Yeah, because there's no.
Again,
everybody has access to it. So if somebody has a question, they're gonna type in online. Like,
again, the people that would actually go out of the way to make this language happen would be people who wouldn't get plugged in to how they might be able to learn it. It take very serious intention about where you go to even
So
talk
you're
about
just
it.
hoping someone doesn't learn it and sell the information to AI, or someone who would give it to the AI?
Yeah, you would have to hope that it would come.
I'm looking at the guy in the spaceship as being the one that's probably going to give the info to the AI.
The right price. I mean,
But
Jeff's sitting here doing like this the whole time.
I've been doing a lot of runs
Just the
here.
idea of how to implement it is a whole different thing, because we could get into that, but just the concept of it, does that make sense to any
Yeah,
of
what you're saying.
Yeah, totally. For
It
sure.
almost,
Okay, so
to
why
me,
is it
to me
make
what
sense to
would
you, Mikey?
well to me it would almost make more sense in the way of talking in code. That would be more in the
Like a
way
Morse
of it being
code,
more
like-
human, because instead of saying again like, like for instance, if you were in a situation where you were worried about somebody monitoring the lines and you're on a walkie-talkie, you wouldn't want to just say, "Hey, come over. I've got a bunch of food and water, and I've got guns or whatever. It's like, because then if somebody was listening, they could just come over. But it's like, if you tell them, hey, you know, my septic tank's backed up,
and I
there's
got
shit
three Mazda
and there's shit, and
Smells
there's
like
shit
poop.
spilling
and I got
everywhere.
3 Mazda pickups.
But just
You
so you
tell
guys
them
know,
my
my
shit's
idea
spilling
fundamentally
everywhere,
would be actually coming up with new words entirely. Not like even code.
I know.
Gotcha.
I'm saying
He wants to say napupu.
My point is that like with what they're saying, then how would you prevent
clicks
it?
and whistles?
It's like, how would you prevent it from not learning? So in order to prevent it from not learning,
All right, let Mikey talk.
in order to
sorry.
prevent it from
You're
not
right.
learning it, you would have to be more or less like something where people would have to understand and know not to then just take. You would have to be distributed like in physical means of like, I think of like, you know, either books or pamphlets, something.
It would have to be
something.
very carefully
And what I was
controlled,
gonna say,
and it literally
to
only
where-
be like communism or something weird to where we meet people when we vet anyone who even
Yeah.
we let them know the idea to where like you go through a process of even being trusted, and this is just how it would start, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm saying the implementation is a whole path on its own, but just theoretically, you know, which we could, if you want to get into nuts and bolts, I can get into that too. But I'm just saying high level, like having a language that we can have as humans that AI doesn't understand, and I don't. In my mind, it's not because I'm afraid of it. It's not because in my, you know, I'm gonna have a positive outlook. But still, we just want to be able to communicate separate from the machines.
I think that what this is actually bringing up is how I think that at the end of the day, when you talking about this is making me realize is that our communication overall needs to evolve. Not just that in this hypothetical world of this scenario.
Yeah.
I think that people's communication for years, like, think of how many arguments.
I think
you've
it's a
been in.
lost cause.
Hang on. Think of how many arguments you've been in with people and stuff like that, where we already can't communicate with people. We could be saying the same thing. I've been in situations where two people are arguing and it's like they're saying the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that.
But
point
because we
completely.
can't just communicate, and it's like, so already the way we already are trying to communicate isn't necessarily, you know, with our
I agree with
normal vocabulary as it is. So yes, in a way, it's like, you know, this is more or less, this could be the catalyst that helps us evolve it in a way. Is the whole AI thing is what I kind of, where my mind goes with it, because as a whole, it's like, look at how all the other countries and people in these countries are at odds with each other and stuff, and a lot of times it's over miscommunications and over perspective and shit like that, and you try and convey, oh well, this is how this makes me feel, but it's like that's only so relevant, you know, how you feel versus so.
Yeah, no, I agree, and that's again my idea got you to think about a current scenario, which is great because that is relevant. But so Chris, I was asking you, just separate from that, just the whole concept of having, and again, like if it helps you by, I'll give you a structure that it would be a human language that would have to be literally just almost be like us start it. And we're talking decades for it to evolve. Like, yeah, we could sit here and basically like write a Bible of Grick means this, like all these new words, but just foundational.
What does keck mean?
Yeah, exactly. But let's go out of our way to like, you know, look up everything to make it completely unique as possible. But just the value of 50 years from now, or 100 years from now, this is like for future generations, even thinking not how we can do it, but like in the future, the value of a language for humans to have.
What you're saying is like the saying of like the world becomes better when old men plant trees whose shade they'll never see.
Yes, like, generational thinking, which means thinking like beyond your own
down
life.
the road.
That was fucking heavy.
But I also think, yeah, it's a great quote. I love that quote. Where it's like, I'm also too, where it's like, what's the easier process to like push a train that's standing still over on its side, or let it get rolling and derail it. Like, so I guess what I'm saying is that it's like creating a whole new language feels like trying to push a stopped train over on its side, where it's like, why not use what's already there, where it's like smuggler talk, where like the way that like drug smugglers will talk to each other, you know, yeah, let me get, you know, hey, I got 3 seats for the Lakers game.
Yeah.
Row 16, seats 5, 6, and 7. You
I
know,
agree.
and
I
it's
just,
like,
I say AI. Just
so
know
it's
that
like
AI
what you're
is going to be so
saying is
smart that it's going to figure out that kind of code. In my mind.
Yes, I mean, theoretically, yes, it could, but like the idea too being that, just like you said, where it's like if you're going to create this entire new fucking way of speaking that you're only going to share with a small amount of people, it's like, why not just use coded language for things? Because that's the way that
I think they can operate in parallel.
But that's what I was saying too, though, is that it's like, I mean, that's even how, like, we talked about, where they talk about like using like walkie-talkies and stuff like that on networks that aren't encrypted. And so it's like, you need to find a way to say things that sound totally innocuous that convey a message to the people that are listening. That's why I was like saying, so it's like one of the protocols would be like, you know, hey, we're watching the checkpoint, 3 Toyota pickups just rolled through. And it's like, to anybody monitoring that ain't shit.
Yeah.
But between the people that know, that's a signal. Hey, like, buckle up, shit's about to go down, you know? And so it's like, and taking just things that sound totally innocuous that would not ping a radar, you know, and like having another meaning to them, I guess. You know?
Yeah.
So it's like, so yeah, like, while I agree, like, with what you're saying, that, yeah, it's like having some way to communicate outside of it, like, for sure, but it's like, what is, I mean, fuck. How long has language been around? Like, how long did it take us to get to this fucking point now?
Yeah.
You know,
and again, just to give the, at least in my mind, this foundational, it wouldn't, and again, I don't even know, it might not even be that we sit and like literally write everything, but it'd be like, again, generational thinking, like us over time. This week we figured out these the most important, like, subject verb things, and we just start with basic, and again, it'd be something that humans, a very small group, would just think of, just even religions over time, it's just like, but the intention being, and again, at the same time, operating in right now in the real world, having parallel ways to speak and code the best we can.
You're talking about guerrilla warfare, like that's.
I mean, you could, definitely apply that, but again,
what it is.
At the end of the day, it's being prepared in the future to be able to organize whatever humans might want to actually organize, and be able to have a language that they can't figure out, because there's no coded stuff, there's no words, there's no reference, but it'd have to be so off the grid. Of course, that component would be almost, again, just the way that the Bible was passed down, the way that they were so strict with that, literally looking at how the Bible's passed down. That would be a template. How did they do it? Okay, that's exactly how controlled it would have to be. That kind of thinking.
But isn't the whole idea, though, that like the masses would be able to communicate outside of it? And so it's like,
not in my mind. I guess in my
no, because what you're talking about, and that's why I was saying, is like guerrilla warfare, where
yes,
you like a small resistance of people that are, but like that is the whole concept of guerrilla warfare and shit, is that you embed yourself with the civilian population, and it's like your goals are our goals, and so it was like, so you're operating under this, with auspice, I guess, that like eventually this is going to become widespread. And so I guess that's what I'm saying. It's like, obviously, yes, while it's something that you're developing, you want to keep it tight. It's like, ideally, the whole purpose would be that it would be like a way for the people to communicate outside of the machine. But then again, too, it's like you run into the problem of
And this one I'm glad because I'm presenting the idea and I'm hoping you talk through the problem. But just the idea of it, I love it.
Like automobile manuals in the fucking 60s used to like tell you how to fucking time the valves and shit like that.
Yeah.
And like nowadays they tell you not to drink the battery fluid.
Yeah.
And it's like, and so that's what I was saying is that that's something you have to account for, that like the stupidity of the general population, that it's like, hey, this is something that's very like, we have to keep this offline. And that's what I was saying.
Again, that's like, in my mind, the general population almost would be, again, it'd literally be underground. No, so Jeff, I just want to hear Jeff's, because he hadn't had a chance to speak, just the idea of it. Does that make sense? Like, what are your thoughts on just the whole concept of it?
Of having to create a new language.
No, having to, but of
my thing would be, like, it's. I don't mean to sound dismissive.
No, it's just, however.
It's just, how does it not get, like, hacked? How does it not get spread? Like, that's the whole, and the only thing is, that's the point of language, right? Like,
it's the ability
to grow. Like, because if a language doesn't grow, then it dies. So like, it's just
it's the fundamental dilemma, at least in my mind, that we're I'm not even say facing, but in a scenario that we've never dealt with in mankind's
and we're trying
history,
to keep it from one of the smartest things known to man.
It would be so it's basically an impossible task, right?
So then you would just.
But the question would be: is it necessary?
Yes. The question is thinking necessary. For
necessary?
500 years, 1,000 years from now, if it's able to be maintained, assuming all these things, that there's a small group of people that are able to maintain all this off the grid, that 1,000 years from now, do you think there would be value in actually maintaining a human language that they can't that they have no idea what we're saying? Just
right.
Because everything is built off of, everything would be built off of these, models or whatever. They're all built off of our language so far, large language models. And so, you would have to, but again, it's like, I see what they're saying and how it would have to, I think, almost be a combination of things, of speaking in ways. It's like the CAPTCHA thing, right? How it's like, where you go to get on a website and you click the picture with the street lamps or something, and so then you go click those pictures, right? And so there would have to almost be some way of still using our language that people know, but like, for instance, saying that I think that the way it would potentially work, the new language would be somewhat of like a mixture of what he was saying with potentially what you're saying, with new words, but also,
it's like,
I get what you're saying. I think there need to be parallel.
And mixing them in such a way to where it's like
they work their way into the lexicon.
One, two, not just that, but to where if people are easily that way, they could at the same time, because our main ways of communicating are Instagram or social media, stuff like that. That's how we communicate and stuff, right? So you still have to, like he said, with the whole guerrilla warfare thing, you have to kind of get in there and embed yourself with it. So what I'm saying all I'm trying to say is that you would have to, again, make your communication in such a way to where it's accessible, but also to where people say, to where they understand that how you structure your sentence or whatever, like structuring it in a certain way to where the AI thing can't understand it, and it doesn't know how to. But again, it already knows how. When you misspell shit, you can just randomly misspell stuff, and it'll be like, oh, they think we fucked up plenty of words, and it's understood what we tried to name.
And that kind of gets the point that I've even had the idea.
I know, and so that's why I'm saying I think it would almost have to be a mix of. But again, at that point, I think my thing is at that point, you would just have to get away from it almost altogether instead of creating your new language, and you would just have to get away from communicating that way. It would have to go back to like CB radio, stuff like that, airway radio, like radio communication back and forth. That would be the way of, because then
but again they could intercept
that.
Yeah.
The thing about it is too, though, it's that it was like when Mikey was talking, I thought about it, but it's like, okay, so say you do develop fucking Joe, but say you do develop some new language or new way of speaking, whatever, it's like that's going to be outside of the baseline, and so that's going to raise outsiders shit. He was like going back to like guerrilla warfare and stuff like that, and having to embed yourself with the population, where it's like your conversations can't bring out, it's like if you're standing here speaking, it's like, what the fuck are those guys talking about over there? Like, what language? So I don't know what the fuck. And so people start looking at it sideways.
Yeah.
Whereas, like I said, where it's like, smuggler talk, where they will literally like be having a conversation that sounds totally innocuous to an outsider,
or drug dealer talk or anything. Yeah. It's like
and
that,
explaining something
in the real time application. I get that. So here's just to plant the seed of, and so I can just get the whole idea to where it's almost okay. Here's the foundational idea that I have would be, and I'm just coming up with this. It would be something that a couple humans, again, thinking generational, to where it did, and I'm just coming up with this, not a solution, but thinking, not to be able to talk real time outside the machine. Like, I don't see the value in that. I'm thinking, in the future, to where it's basically coming up with a whole dictionary, a whole encyclopedia of shit, burying it, and then just leaving breadcrumbs for family or someone, I don't know, future generation to be like, if you find this, this is, for the humans that it might have value from the breadcrumbs, because they might, again,
what is
but devil's
human?
Advocate, I would be like, well, I don't imagine a world where humans would ever need to think about talking outside the machine, So devil's advocate would be like, okay, that sounds like a fruitless endeavor. What's the point? Because I'm gonna just think on the positive side that they could create a great world to where why would humans even want to think about being able to talk and organize outside of it? That's devil's advocate. But then so it's the idea would be, okay, maybe just coming up with a whole new language, burying it in a sense, so to speak, and however you want to do it, leave breadcrumbs for the future to be like, in case you need, it might be of value to you at some point in the future, and it'd have to be intelligently thing. Just thinking of 1,000 years from now. Again, it could just be a story. Think of this as a sci-fi story where there's some humans sitting in there in a perfect world thinking, man, I'd like to think about doing things differently, but how do I do it? Like if I talk to my friend and I talk to them, they hear everything. So what's the point of even trying? But then, I don't know, in the story, having some breadcrumbs that were left generations ago, to where they find some book to where it's like, and it tells them, okay, you have to, whatever way possible, isolate, get off, disconnected, if it's even possible from the system. It might require, getting implants out. Who knows what it would be in the future. But either way, just them having that tool set just to be able to organize as humanity if they wanted to for any reason. It didn't have to be for warfare. It didn't have to be for anything. It could literally just be able to have a conversation without it being somehow brought into the algorithm of the machine.
Yeah.
And that's literally it. It didn't, not necessarily to be fighting against it. It could just literally be, I just want to be able to talk to a human and it just not even know. It'd be human.
Able to maintain your privacy.
I just want to actually remember what like being human is, separate from being, singularity, being a part of it all.
Well, they integrate everything around,
Yeah, so that's kind of like
that's where you get your
the idea, to where, and in real time, be like, we could have coded language and all that, and if anything, a way to combat this machine would to be intentionally have mass groups of people create noise data, just to which training on stuff to where it makes it difficult to even know what things are, but that would take such a large scale, and that's a whole nother conversation. But I just planted the thought. That's kind of the point.
No, yeah, I mean it's interesting. I mean at the end of the day, it's
I've got a book I'll let you borrow about talks about like codes, ciphers, stuff like that, and it goes through like the history of it and stuff like that, where it's like literally like I was saying guerrilla warfare type stuff and dead drops and everything, to where it was like people would be able to relay information, but that, if it fell into the wrong hands, it would look totally innocuous. It was like, that was something that like actually the Aryan Brotherhood had perfected in the prison system.
Fan of those guys.
Well, no, because they would send these letters. They had their own like alphabet.
Yeah.
And so they would send a letter, because everything that gets
everything that gets sent out,
everything gets sent out gets screened.
Yeah.
But it was like one of those things where it was like if a letter was capitalized, then like
there's the
third letter language after, this and that or whatever. And so it could be a 3-page letter.
Yeah.
That to anybody reading it would just be like, it's just a fucking letter, but it could contain a single sentence.
Would be the people who throughout generations are going out of their way to do that. Would be the people that hopefully generations from now would be the ones that would find it and be like, okay, here's value. We've been going out of our way to try and communicate out the system.
But
here's something that's so off the system.
That's a real world example of like, because that was the thing, that was when they started breaking up the gangs and stuff like that, where they were like, they're too centralized. They broke them up all around the country, and they were still able to send messages through,
communicate,
and were actually
just
safer.
Like the Zodiac killer,
when they were actually safer
with the stuff
in these supermax prisons, where it's like you're on 23-hour lockdown, and you send this message out to California or out to wherever, and it's like
they're able to operate safer by letting the system protect them, and then
which is so it's like that's what I was saying. It's like finding a way. Rather than trying to push that train that's standing still over, it's like the train that's already moving. How do you derail it? How do you fucking...
And again, that's a conversation that's unique into itself. Because again, my mind isn't even thinking about trying to push the train. Again, it's just
and I get what you're saying. And so it's like, but like if down the road you want to get to the point where you have an entire language outside of it, it was like
it's
it would have
them
to be
going in the world and finding an atomic
bomb
of value.
It would have to be baby
steps.
That
could knock the train over. That's like my mindset.
It would have to be baby steps though, where it would be like
I guess not in my hypothetical idea of it, but it's cool because the conversation. Again, it's all theoretical. So, but So that was just kind of the seed I wanted to plant there, and
it's been planted.
Yeah. So again, that's fun. so we can
Seed
stop
me.
on that one for now. So
that
was about 40 minutes. So
altogether.
If there's anything else you want to free flow on or not, or
yeah, maybe give me a second.
Okay, so take a quick break.
Quick little break, perhaps, and then we'll check into that and then come back.
And we're back. We're back after kind of the seed of thought, whatever it is you want to think that I kind of threw out there to see what would grow. And it's interesting. It's like throwing a little bomb out. Not a bomb. I don't know.
Bomb.
An idea.
It was a bomb.
It's an idea. It's an idea. What's the most dangerous thing in the world? An idea.
Yes,
Bomb.
An idea. So I just threw an idea out there, and it's curious. It's fascinating to see because I have deep. I could go in depth, but either way, it's fun. It's a fun exercise. But I think we're getting to that time of the week to where we normally be going right into our recommendations, but we're gonna implement just a quick little component on top of that. That's it is a recommendation, but it's going to be a weekly. We'll give you. And right now it's just a movie. It might evolve to like have a show too. But this week, a film to see before you die, and we won't.
Time in the West.
Yeah, we won't get in. We could talk for hours about why it's on here, but it's the curious minds that might want to know. It's search it out and see why it might be of value.
It's for you to go search
or
out.
Or
Google
just trust us. Or just trust us. One or the other.
Watch it.
Or just trust us and be like, okay, I think the way these guys talk, it's worth checking out. So the inaugural or whatever, the first one is Jeff. What do we got?
Yeah, we're gonna go with the obvious one, the one that you need to see on anybody's list. I think Citizen Kane.
I completely agree.
Orson Welles.
Completely agree. It's search. It's almost it's so like you said. For us, it's obvious. For the average person, but look it up.
Do the math. Do the homework.
I'm gonna go home tonight and watch it. I'm gonna watch it like this.
Yeah, do that and then learn about the time it was made. And again, there's a lot of value to find, but
yeah, absolutely.
So let's
just
get
the
to
structure alone of how it was made became, so many other films.
Yeah. Don't get me going. Recommendations of the week.
That's
we'll
that
start
language
with Jeff.
that AI don't understand.
No, you gotta end with me or start with Chris at least.
What?
I recommend you start with Chris.
So okay.
For the violence, I don't have anything. Like I don't.
Yes, see, you guys, it's okay to give it that much thought, but it can literally just be what did you just drink?
What?
What was the soda you just drank? You bought that. You chose it. You bought that.
You don't do
recommend this. What is it? Like what?
No. I got a recommendation. I recommend that you guys make somebody laugh this week, and I mean like belly laugh, a good laugh. There you go.
Beautiful.
I can't remember the last time Jeff made me laugh. I can remember the last time he made me cry, though.
So he's like, Jeff's advice to people is,
dude,
be funny.
Dude, no. We've been doing this for a year. We haven't had something humor related. That's great.
Make somebody laugh. You don't have to be funny. You could do something funny. Make somebody laugh or make somebody cry with all your heart.
Again, that's perfect. Actions, Jeff. You said no, yeah. You don't literally just do something awkward in front of them.
Make somebody laugh
or literally
make somebody cry.
Like Chris, we would go to the mall and just fall on purpose. People will be like, feel bad, but then they'll be laughing.
The harder you eat.
Yeah.
Shit,
so I love it. That's beautiful. Make somebody or just force laughter somehow.
I never perfected the art of falling down.
So what's you?
I say buy your friend a birthday gift when it's their birthday.
Okay, so that's your recommendation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Buy your friend a gift
when it's their birthday.
He's telling
like
I'm just saying.
On the day?
I
think he's telling
Jeff because Jeff's going to be
when it's your birthday, buy your friend
for your birthday
for their birthday.
That's a good recommendation.
It's a good because you always forget. You forget when their birthday rolls around. Like you came over to my brother-in-law's birthday at one time, and you brought him some super glue.
The friends actually buy each other gifts is a whole different conversation because it's almost like I don't ever get friends gifts, so it's a very unique, special time.
But it's random though. It's like I feel like they're it's
it might just be like once over 10 years, but yeah, there's.
I think it's when the right gift meets the right person at the right time.
Yeah. No, for sure. It's like
summed it up. Yes.
Like I always want to get people shit, but then at the same time too, it's
you're
like
a piece of shit,
you're
so
at a
don't.
point. Yeah, exactly.
But every
It's
now
like
and
you
then
try to
someone's
uphold that
birthday
bad
happens to
reputation.
fall on a time where somebody you just wanted to show gratitude to them, and it gave you an outlet to do it. And again, right place, right time, everything. And so that's just an opportunity.
I just feel
it might
like
happen
a lot of times,
once in their life.
Things that like, especially at our age, where it's like,
I don't know what that
if somebody finds shit useful.
I'm a young man.
If somebody that finds shit useful, it's like they're like
F the kid.
I'm probably gonna go get my own shit.
Yeah.
It's like
so is that your recommendation? Get your own shit.
Get your own
shit.
I
said buy your friend a gift on their birthday, and you get your own.
Chris said get your own shit,
dude. That's so perfect.
It's not yin and yang.
Yeah, no, because Rex is a quick hit.
Light.
What's yours, Matt?
Mine. You can't get. I can't.
Boom shakalaka.
So, if you don't have any friends, gosh darn it, I will be your friend.
Oh, we'll be your friend.
So if you don't have any friends, if you do, talk to them. Just connect with them and that's it. Talk to them and just literally just realize, this is a person I can hopefully take my just be yourself around for a little bit, whatever environment. But if you don't have a friend and you're actually listening, if you reach out to us, we would love to be your friend.
Mikey-and-Me podcast @gmail.com.
I mean, all the contact info is
all the
on our
contact
channel
info
stuff,
out there, and
do
you
we
can
have
buy
a
us
Gmail?
a coffee
Do we have a
too
Gmail?
if you want.
Yeah.
You can buy us a
Jeff.
coffee.
Oh, we
if
got
you
a
want
Gmail.
to. Tell them how
What's
they
the
can.
Gmail?
We have a website.
Tell them
What's
they
the
can buy us
Gmail?
coffee.
Well, it'll be on there. It's Mike3andme at Gmail, but it's like instead of Mikey, it's got a 3. So Mike 3 and the E and me at Gmail.
Okay, so we made it real simple for you guys. Email us, Mike3 and me.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's
simple for you guys.
And we're thinking about throwing a pug bash.
Oh, and we have a website,
pug party.
right? Did you know that? Mikey-and-me.com. Literally, just Mikey-and-me.com.
Jeff,
if you haven't.
Oh, you're talking to me? Yes, I've been to the website.
Okay,
he's never seen
glad
it.
you know it exists.
It's on my
Jeff's
favorites.
I have it bookmarked.
No, but I mean, I actively try. I haven't done a lot. It's literally cataloging old shit right now. But if there's that middle button, feel something, that's the one that might change because it'll.
Where's I was searching for the memorabilia, is what it was. I was looking for merch.
Yeah, you want some old beer
merchandise.
cans?
Just go there. Just click the link. There's a link that says "click here to feel something." Click that every week because it's gonna open up a video and you might feel something. And I've made it.
Where are the shirts?
If anybody wants to purchase an empty beer can from the Mikey and Me podcast, we have plenty at the end of every episode that we're willing to sell.
Yeah.
Hey, did we ever find out what the pug was thinking at the beginning of the podcast?
This is some bullshit,
menacing.
and Jeff can't play MLB.
It was menacing.
All right. Well, that's
my headset must have gone out.
It's about that time for us.
My man, that's the only response, Jeff.
Mikey.
Well,
Everybody?
be seeing
seeing you.
Be seeing you.